So, hi everyone. Right, so I'm going to do a twin flame therapy. So, welcome if you're new. My name's Claire, not Crystal. Oh, I haven't said that for ages, have I? I used to always say that at the start. But yeah, it's just in case anyone gets confused with the crystal at the start. So, there might be something about crystals. Maybe you need to utilise them. Maybe there's a name crystal or something. Because, like I said, but anyway, I feel somebody needs some grounding crystals or like black crystals for protecting your energy from like negativity. Yeah, I feel just because there's a lot of unhealed shadow, more than what we've ever been used to. And obviously you may be needing to integrate your own shadow still and book a session if you do, because like I said, I was thinking about maybe just actually titling a session something about Lilith. But I'm like, why, I don't think there's any point in doing that, because it'd be the same price anyway, but I might just do it because it, homes in on what we're going to do. But I'll just decide. But whether I do that or not, it's just with Black Moon Lilith and Scorpio conjunct my Pluto right now. It's a great opportunity to be really transmuting some very deep, dark traumas that some of you have, whether it's from this life or past life. So, and again, I'm able to do that for people all the time, but there is a theme right now. Again, there's a theme. Yeah, there is a theme right now. And it's funny because, the people that I've worked with this week, and again, obviously some of you know because people have actually said, oh, my session. So it's fine if you say, oh, I've got a session, that's different. But I won't actually say, oh, I've got a session with such and such. If I'm saying their name, it's because they've already said it in public. But yeah, it's like the person I worked with the day before and then the person I worked with yesterday, it was completely different themes. But like one of them, it was clearing like psychic attack, so it was like kind of dark stuff, and that person is very like sort of angelic frequency and a lighter frequency, and so doesn't really deal with the same stuff that I do, but can see it, but doesn't really, she wouldn't attract a lot of it. But you see, that was why the psychic attack could come at that person through jealousy. So whereas sometimes I attract people that are like me and they can see through the dark, they've got a lot of Scorpio, and so they'll have more of a similar experience to me going through the psychic attack and helping others with it. And then others are different, but it's basically there's a lot deep, there's deep dark traumas coming up too. But actually, even with that person I'm talking about, where I was helping her with psychic attack, that's someone previously, like years ago, I had helped her with working through like some of her stuff with like soul retrieval and past life regression and stuff. So that's what I mean. We're all at different places, and the point is, like I always say, every single person has trauma, right? And it's not a competition. But I more say that in the sense that don't be thinking other people haven't got their own shit, like including me, because that fucking pisses me off. I even swear. It's not like I don't swear, but you know what I mean? It does fucking piss me off when people like don't sort of stop to sort of think that I've got my own stuff as well. It's just a bit inconsiderate, really, isn't it? But the thing is, I do know that it's because you wouldn't be wrong in assuming I have worked through a lot of my own trauma. I've went from a wounded inner child to a very empowered inner child and an empowered adult and secure for myself. But like once upon a time, I wouldn't have been that, so I can lean upon that to help others. But the reason why I can stand strong in helping such a big group of people is because of the work that I've done, up to now, and that took years of soul retrieval. So that's why I say to people, it's not just like a one and done. You get a session and I'm healed. But it can be in the sense of like I've said, if you've got some type of addiction, it is a fucking miracle, but it does happen like pretty much all the time. Like when somebody comes and it's like, I'll give this spiel like, look, don't know what's going to happen. You'll be feeling lighter. Your pain's likely to lift if you have pain. Obviously, actually, that happened recently, so I could say that because Renee had put. So again, thank you so much, Renee, because those comments are like gold dust. And again, I'm so funny because it's like 444 angels fucking all around. But like I said, the angels come in and help with everything I do. I just don't feel the need to say it all the time because they come in everything that I do. And Yeah, but those comments are like gold dust. So that's why I'm saying I'm funny, because I just say it. Like, because actually, oh yeah, that's reminding me. Oh, it's because I haven't watched it back. So when I watch back the chat, the live stream, I'm going to screenshot some of the comments about. Oh no, that wasn't. That was Heather. That's what I mean. A lot of people have actually been doing that, and maybe it's because it's Aries season and people have got more energy. But thank you anyway, because it makes a difference. You know, because other people that are lurking, that are loving lurkers, are like, oh right, I've got that problem. That person's, or like whatever that person's problem is, because they've not said, they seem to be feeling better now, and these people aren't lying. I'm not paying these people to say that. Do you mean I've not got the fucking money to do that? But if we keep the consistency going and I keep my frequency high, I will have money, but not to pay people to say nice things about me. Well, hopefully I'll have the money, but I don't want to do that with that money. I will be able to have a team of people helping me. That is my goal. But we're not quite there, okay? We need to start from the bottom now. Here, no, we're not there yet. You know what I mean? We're like, I don't know if we're even halfway up. We're somewhere. We're going somewhere. We're going together. So that's what I mean. You can either come with me, or you can stay lurking and hating. You decide. But if you want to come into the new Earth frequency and quantum leap, book a session, basically. You know what I mean? That was good marketing, wasn't it? It just sort of flew through. It doesn't always flow through like that. But I feel as it, like, again, I don't know when I'm going to do the Fuck It Let's Go challenge, which is my challenge about taking a quantum leap to your highest timeline. But anyway, so I don't know why I had to go on about all of that, but they did, so it'll be relevant. So I'm going to identify the divine feminine of whoever's going to make sense of this with these cards, which do identify traumas. Now, I feel I've been guided to that because we go into a Cancer moon late tonight, sometime I think before 11 o'clock at night, so it is pretty late. But so that means on Friday we'll be in a Cancer moon. I'm just going to check. I know that it's Friday and Saturday. Yeah, Friday and Saturday. So, oh my god. So Friday, Saturdays, although it's Aries sun, somebody might be an Aries moon watching. Actually, more than likely. Actually, I was talking about an Aries moon. Like one of the... oh my god. I've spoken about, like, again, because you don't know what one's what, I've spoken about 2 Aries moons in this video. See, there's a little... And notice the synchronicity of they've got me to say that because... Oh no, I haven't. Sorry. This is funny. Because I'm like, no, I haven't, when I'm only 8 minutes in. I spoke about one Aries moon, but I spoke about an Aries moon in the healing video because I just done a 30-minute or something, I don't know how long it was, healing video, and it was somebody that is an Aries moon inspired that, and then I've come straight to do this. So so if I've done them on the same day, you'll see what I mean. But that means something because the last new moon eclipse that we just had was in, like, that was last weekend, wasn't it? That was in Aries. So you know what I mean? It's like, it makes sense that the Aries moons have been coming for healing. Oh my god, wow. Wow. So wait a minute, I'll show you. So Innerchild, 16 as well, tower moment, and she doesn't look happy. So wait a minute. I don't really smile because it's like, you know what I mean? I've got a feeling it's not going to be... I did feel that it's not going to be... I just don't think... Okay, we'll just see where it goes. I kind of knew when I went to these cards, because I say it all the time, but for those of you that are new, Cancer is the 4th house. So that is family, soul family, specifically like the mother and feminine energy. And a big part of my work is not only healing the inner child, and I heal children as well. Like, I always, when I'm talking about adults, I'm always like, I empower you to heal yourself, you know, and to heal your own inner child. And actually I empower children to heal themselves too, but you know what I'm saying? It's like I'm the vessel for the healing. Because really that's what I'm all about. I teach as I go. Everything that I do, you know what I mean? There's a lot of people that have learned how to sort of intuitively read cards, you know, just through watching me and that said. So, yeah, Aries is the child. Aries is the child, and Aries is your inner child. as babies, you know what I mean? Some of you are in the baby stages of learning about healing and shadow work and inner child healing and what the fuck's a soul retrieval, you know what I mean? And you're welcome. If that's you, you're welcome. We've all got to start somewhere. But yeah, so the divine feminine, you could either be like myself, like I can't remember if I just spoke about that in this or the last one, but I think it was this one. And remember, that is because we're in a Mercury retrograde in confusing Pisces as I'm like doing this, but also Venus retrograde in Pisces, so it is very like kind of confusing energy. So I feel basically it could be a confusing time for your inner child. So this is whether you could be a divine feminine, female or male, but this is also the masculine feelings. So just take this however it resonates. But right, so where is the? Oh, so that's what I was going to say. So you could also resonate with being in your empowered inner child. So you listen to your inner child, you let your inner child play. You don't feel guilty about being in your joy and attracting abundance. And wow, this is magical. Like I'm not actually gonna. Unfortunately, I'm not gonna share like all of my wins for obvious reasons of what I've said about how much spiritual warfare I have. But what I will, well, I did though. Like yesterday, I did share in the community tab that if every day was like yesterday, the way I woke up, I felt abundant all day, and I felt tired because I'd had a long Zoom with one of you. Well, actually, yeah, the one of you, I could say I'd had the long Zoom with Renee the night before, which magical, absolutely loved that, and totally loved that 11:44. And bear in mind, for those of you who don't know that, like that is the first time me and Renee have actually met on the Zoom. But it was like we'd known each other like for years. So, and again, that is, I actually do have that with everyone that comes on the Zoom, right? It's very rare that I mean, I'm not being funny, like I've only had and the whole time I've done this for 10 years, I think I've had 2 instances where I didn't gel with someone. One was like literally probably like 10 years ago, and I think it was because I met someone in a business group, and I think they were just, I don't know, I think they were trying to have a cock off or something, because every now and again that happens, you know what I mean? And I was like, why did you actually book this if you weren't like coming to for your own, like it sounds like you don't need my help, you know? That was like, because like I said, this was ages ago. And it did kind of knock her, off the kind of being the dick a little bit, but not enough. And I was like, I don't think this is right, for me or you. It wasn't a paid session. That was the thing. It was free, so it was like she was just wanting to be nosy. So anyway, and then I set really strong boundaries with my guides. I was like, do not fucking send me people like that. And then there was another time, probably about 7 years ago or something. And again, it was really brief. It was like, I think it was when I was doing 15-minute free calls or something to see if we're a good fit. And we fucking weren't that time, and we weren't listening. And the other woman, it wasn't like, again, it wasn't anything to thing it. I could just tell, I was like, we just didn't gel. I think it was another one of them. And I have identified, like I've said before, I've even identified the placements that seem to do that to me. It's so fucking weird, whether it's copying or trying to compete and oh god, it's like, but thank god I have had other sessions with people with similar placements that they transmute the energy of what I notice. But I'm always discerning. If somebody says I'm a such and such and a such and such, I'm like, oh right, okay, I'm gonna just gonna take note a little bit, just keep my wits about me. And you always should, again, because I will write a book about that one day in my own way, like how I view the different placements. I don't know how I'll put it together, but I will at some point. Right, so where's the masculine at? Although the masculine can be healing their inner child too, or they can be feeling like they're in a more healed place of healing their inner child, an empowered inner child. But like I always say, just because I say I've got an empowered inner child, it doesn't mean that I'm not fragile at certain points and that I can't get hurt by it. Of course I can. It's just I'm less triggered than most. And if I identify the people that trigger me the most in my life, and I set boundaries around it, is a bit, you know what I mean? I won't tolerate being around people, that basically aren't going to let me be myself or be my joy, you know what I mean? And none of us should, no matter who they are. Oh wow, that's really deep. Okay, so what have we got? And so yeah, they're getting me to say that because, you know, like so for instance, my fourth house is in Pisces, so that's where I'm very, very psychic, but very sensitive as well. And like I will say, I think that's why I will say that sensitivity is a beautiful gift. You've got to protect it, but it's also like a Doreen Virtue card on one of these decks. So yeah, and I always say that because I feel a lot of you need to hear that, like, you know, because if you've really internalized somebody saying you're too sensitive, like, and if you've heard that through when you're little, you could like just be like, oh right, well I just won't show anyone that side of me, and that's no, you know what I mean. You need to then go and get healing and empowerment so that you do share that side of you, because we could all be missing out on something amazing in you because you're pushing it down. I feel like I'm talking to one of the guys out there, or probably quite a lot of the men. Right. Pay attention to the signs. So there could be something significant about the 10th of April, or there could be something significant about Aries season, or there could be something significant. I've just jumped to Aries season because the next 10th is an Aries season. I wouldn't normally do that. It's quite funny, but or there's something significant about October. But the 10s are the liminal space, and that's interesting. I can't remember what it was now, but maybe it was like, oh no, I think it was because, yeah, so the plumber was, well, it was two plumbers, but the plumber was coming this morning between 8 and 10. And you know, it's always my luck. They always come at like fucking 10 to 8 or something. So I thought, right, I'll put my alarm, I put an alarm for 7:30, I put an alarm for 7:45, and like, I swear to God, I was still awake at like 5 in the morning, and I was like, oh fuck. So if I look like I've got bags in my eyes, that's why. And but they actually came at like 10 to 10. Yeah, they came at 10 to 10. So that maybe, but no, I'm sure I saw 10 at some point. Whatever. So however that, you know, 10 to me is a liminal space. You're not quite ending something and you're not quite beginning. You're in that middle phase. Yeah. See, this is what I mean. This is why I love this work. It's like, it is fun. You know, I do get sick of it because I get sick of the same stories, but it's like, there is a shift in the collective where there are a lot of people that are experiencing like being elevated or divine inheritance, like basically meaning whether it's like, because that's what I mean by yesterday. Like yesterday was a combination of waking up to PayPal's rather than PayPal's going out, because that's what I mean. It's so funny that like the PayPal thing goes down and it's like, oh no, it's like something from iTunes going out or something from my app, or but it was like, you know, that was nice waking up to book in. So well done, yous, for doing that. But it was also like the very first thing I woke up to yesterday was an email from one of our divine masculine males, actually, just like giving me the evidence of, well, confirming the evidence of the mediumship that I'd done on that video. And yeah, I mean, he was like, sorry if I make you cry, because he's gathered from meeting me on the Zoom and seeing me on here what I'm like, and you know what I mean? And it's, yeah, and I was crying with joy. It was, you know, but I was also like, fuck, wow. Like, honestly, like, wow. Like, wow. And so, yeah, like, and so remember, I've been a natural medium my whole life, and then I have developed it too, and got my, you know, basically I have been teaching other people mediumship and mentoring them for years now, and activating their clairs and activating their gifts, and because everything I do is a DNA activation, light code activation, but it's like, you know, on top of that, because that just does it through my frequency, I actually use my coaching skills. So all these things, like, I mean, a lot of the different things I do, I've paid a shit ton of money for. So do you know what I mean? Like, that's why late last night I've been meaning to do that during this Venus retrograde. Like, I did put up my prices, like for my for my packages. So bad news here, but not on the ones that are like, you know, the 4 sessions. Like, I've kept them just the same, but the ones that were my bigger ones, I've put that up because it is not just like normal, whatever normal is. It's not just like therapy counselling. It is a mixture of, you know, it was when I was doing my last therapy client that, you know, because of the different things that we had noticed, and just, you know, and it's what I've had with other people in the past, but it was just like, I couldn't deny it anymore. It's like, it is a mixture of like therapy and coaching, but it's just, it was what I channeled was high level quantum coaching, and I was kind of, oh, I like the name of that. So I don't think I put that in the title. I might change it to that now that I'm saying it again. But yeah, so it's like, you know what I mean? That's why people get the results faster. So what my therapy package really is, which is called Twinflame therapy just now, it's and if you do happen to be watching this and you're not a twin flame, like I can, I don't know. I was going to say I can do that with you, but I would need to talk first to see. I would need to sort of see, why are you drawn to me to do that with you? Because I've only ever attracted twin flames the whole 10 years. You know what I mean? So I'm not just going to sort of take that on because it's money. That's what I mean. You've got to, I spoke about that in the last one. You've got to be, is it in resonance? Are you a good fit? But yeah, I'm coaching people into their divine feminine. So whether you're a man or a woman, the women that come to me typically are very in their masculine, overworking, stressed out, busy, not stopping, and because I'm a womb healer too, I mentioned that now and again, but womb healers womb activation, womb healers extremely rare. And so that is the bit that every now and again they keep reminding, like I really do need to honour that. Like it's why I can sit for so long and everything like that. So it's why at some point, the prices will even go up on these other sessions, because that is my sacral chakra energy, you know what I mean? So oh my god, I said that as numbers. Right, moving on. See what I mean? That's kind of nuts. Well, yes, it's only me that gets to. Well, it just depends which way you look at that. It's kind of like, what I mean. What I was going to say, it's only me that gets to sort of bask in that energy, but it's oh god, this is because the fucking moon's in Gemini. They always make me talk about stuff like this. What it means is the sacral chakra is trust and it's creativity, and my Venus is in Aries in the 5th house. Remember, when I'm talking about moon astrology, it's to teach you about it. Because if people are like, why are you talking about you? Because it teaches. So if you don't like that, go and watch somebody else, and that's why, right? Who the fuck am I meant to talk about as an example when I'm doing this? But it's what pops in mind. It's playful, and it's kind of like this is my gift. This was my hobby before I turned it into my job, and that's what I mean. Like that's why I then had to sort the boundaries around that, because it's like, wait a minute, I'm not just chucking cards about. Like it reminds me of like when that, and probably because that's coming to mind because of what I just done with Renee the other night. There was a woman on Facebook. Now probably would have been 7 years. I think it would be 7 years ago. Don't think it was quite 8 years ago. 7 years ago, when I was doing a live stream that was on Facebook, and like basically what happened was, it's always better in her words, so I haven't posted that for like 6 months or something, so I might post that again. But the long and short of it was, I was like, who's got a sore back? I feel like someone's got a sore back, because I always feel it like it's mine, like I did with Renee the other day. And sometimes I don't always know, because again, like I did feel that was Renee's, but I didn't say to her because it was like, I just basically hadn't said. I was like feeling it myself, and then she said to me like and I was like, so, and then I was like, oh god, thank god, because it was like as soon as she said it, then when I acknowledged it, and then it lifted, and then obviously amazing that it lifted for you, and I'm glad you got a good night's sleep, and we're going to monitor that, because like I say to people, see what happens over the next 3 weeks, and miracles can happen. But basically, yeah, that woman said it was. She said, "Oh, I've got a sore back," and I said, "Well, would I be able to just, would you be open to me pulling your cut?" I think it wasn't even at the time. I wouldn't have even been saying, "Would you be open for me praying for you?" To be honest, I don't know what I would have said, but I was like, "Would you be open to a card, because the healing is in it too," something like that. And so anyway, I pulled her a card, and she said she said it felt like a shot of morphine going to her back, and the pain lifted and was better for some time, and then it set her on her spiritual awakening. And it was something like that, you know what I mean? But she was just like, at first she was like, who is this, crazy, not crazy, but who is this like eccentric sort of woman chucking cards about and nearly setting the cards on fire and stuff, you know what I mean? That's what I mean. It does look like a parlour trick, but that's my kind of Hayoka shaman kind of joker energy. But it's interesting because that's the Sag moon, but the Scorpio rising bit of me conjunct Pluto is really serious, and it's really serious stuff I help you with. And that's the secret when you get on the Zoom. It's like you're pulled in by the joy, and that's all real, Aries and the Sag moon. But if you've got lurking dark trauma, whether you realised that that's what helped or not, because I've had some client sessions in the last few weeks that it's people that I've found, that they just sort of come across me, and they didn't know that I'd done all this other stuff. So sometimes that's not such a bad thing. But yeah, pay attention to the signs, and you know, it takes courage to do that. There's something about the 30th of August being, 30th of August might be significant, 30th of October. So a divine masculine stepping into their courage, and they're seeing all the signs. The owl up there too feels like Athena energy. It's like, which is courage too. Yeah, you can't ignore it anymore. So you see, when you piece that together, for a divine feminine, you can't ignore all the signs that you need to be brave. And you've either empowered your inner child enough to make the change, or you need to. I can resonate with all of that. That's why I've just described about taking a quantum leap, and that's why I'm attracting clients that can afford my services easily, as well as, don't worry if you're not able to do that. If I trust you and you've been around a while, there's things we can work out. So, you know, but it's obviously going to, that's obviously going to be to people that I know well. If I don't know you very well, you know, you're going to have to sort of hang around and gain my trust. And we can only hope that you're a good one. And for a masculine, same thing. You're either needing to heal your inner child, healing your inner child, or you've empowered your inner child enough to do something brave because you're paying attention to all the signs. Love it. Right, what's in the back? I knew she was going to appear, so Lexi will laugh. So this is so interesting, because in that healing video, I mentioned Mary Magdalene codes coming through. And then I was like, oh yeah, the Mary Magdalene cards. And then I ended it because it was 33 minutes, come to Jesus. And I didn't pull the card, so I'm going to pull it now. But me and Lex have got a bit of a joke about this card, because it's like when I had my other membership, I think it was just the card kept coming out. But it's like, so look, so but basically it does mention her being, oh, what does it say again? Because it says selling out. I think it, can't remember what the exact wording is, but it's something like the something prostitute. And it's obviously going to link to Mary Magdalene, but it's but this card is actually about like pretending to be someone you're not, like trying to sell yourself to people is like something that you're not, like, you know, it's not really going to bring you fulfillment. Like, just be yourself. Like, that's what I was thinking. I'm always saying be yourself in Aries season especially, but it's because I obviously am an Aries with my Venus in Aries, but it's like, you know, Aries is about just be yourself, right? Like most Aries that I know, if you've stepped into like the higher energy of it, we give zero fucks whether people like us or not. Obviously, you don't want everybody to hate you, but you know what I mean? Like, validate yourself. Like, why hang around waiting for other people? You know what I mean? Like, work on yourself and like yourself, love yourself, and then hopefully move into unconditional love, which is what I help people do, because that's the journey I went on. You know what I mean? Didn't fucking start like this. I had to work to get to like this. So now that we've dropped a few F-bombs, let's get a Mary Magdalene card for the Divine Feminine. But like I said, keep in mind for both the energy within you, and this won't be for everyone, so just Divine Feminine. It does feel very collective so far. So one on the front of the deck, always feel that's important. I feel this is about, I have noticed, I feel this is about, you know, I've been pulling a lot of cards about Queen Rising and Queen Bee and all this kind of stuff. And I can't help but notice the synchronicities of these things were mentioned to me. And again, I don't get personal readings anymore, but I did get one more recently in recent weeks. And it was mentioned to me about some of the things that I've said. And years ago when I used to get readings more often, like to check in on things, and then I was like, I just can't be bothered doing this because they're so far out. It doesn't mean they're not good, but they're so far out. You could stop living your life a bit. So that's why I always say, like, I show up to deliver these divine love messages, but live your life, you know. But you're a bit more lucky if you're watching this now. But I don't use the word lucky. Again, lucky must mean something. I always say luck is preparation meeting opportunity. And the word opportunity kept coming up in that healing. Lots of synchronicity. Yeah, pay attention to signs. There's an opportunity here. Emerging from the shadow, reveal what's hidden. Again, this is divine feminines, male and female, but I do keep pulling ones that indicate sort of female divine feminines rising in their power. You're coming out the shadows, right? I really don't know what I use as a thumbnail. If you've been kind of hidden or hidden from plain sight, sorry, my usually itchy again, people could be talking about you. There is a card about gossip in this. But it's time to be seen, you know, seen or seen more. It doesn't need to be that you're doing stuff in public. It can just be that you're claiming space when you'd rather cower away. But for some of you, it will be that. Let's see. Because I've had recently, I'm keeping it anonymous just now, but I've had a lot of success stories, people getting in touch with real success stories of work that we'd done years ago, like manifesting now. So that's always really amazing, because that always happens. Like, and actually, I'm just thinking of another one, because that's one of the women I'm thinking of. And at some point, you know, like, that's somebody that, you know, depending on what she wants to do, probably share. And we'd already sort of spoke about that, so we'll see further down the line. But it will happen. But there's one of the guys, one of the divine masculine, like, we had planted a seed about manifesting a new home, and now he's in that home. So you know what I mean? So I just realised that too. So it's kind of like, but you know, I'm just trying to think. So because I'm keeping that anonymous, but that was summer of last year, and then I think he moved a few months ago or something. So I mean, so sometimes it can take months, sometimes it can take about a year, just less than a year. Sometimes it can take a couple of years. But like, there's a post Alice sometimes quote I've got on my phone, and I can't remember what I wrote, but it was something, you know, we did just channel through, and it was a written post, and I basically was talking about me with the twin flame journey. Like, I have known for, like I said, for certain, for 15 years as just being too strict about it. That's just when I knew exactly who he was to me and what to call him and stuff, you know, to myself anyway. I wasn't even like, oh, my twin flame. Like, like, yeah, like, I've just been like, I want that one. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's my lobster. But it's kind of like, you know what I mean? It's just kind of like, you know, you've got to have a focus. But like you said, it's free will. So these unions only come about if both people want each other. So again, we just let the butterfly fly free, let the bird fly out the cage and see if it flies back. But sometimes it can fly away for a decade or longer, go on a little journey. And then it's like, could I come back now? Right. Let's see what we got for a divine masculine. Yes, because they've got Magdalene's portal. So gateway, but no, all jokes aside, I'm not joking, because look, they're not joking through me, because it just, and I can feel the activations at the crown and the soul star chakra. So that really is when unions are, you know, like, it's when it's the higher chakras. But and again, these are all timeless. So again, like I said, that you still might need to wait a while, some of you, for this, or some of it could be now, some of it could be soon, whatever. Let me know in private, please. You don't need to, but I would like to know. 22nd of April could be significant. That would already be in the Taurus season, so that might be something. And oh yeah, because that is grounding something in the physical, because it's an earth sign, like grounding the union in the physical. But yeah, Magdalene's portal. Oh wow, that'll be, yeah. This actually could be about the 4/4 portal as well, which right now as I'm filming that is tomorrow. So you know, the masculine the masculine is having a huge activation. And I would say, because these are the Mary Magdalene cards, it feels like a huge heart chakra activation. Just one of the many that are flooding through, especially because the fourth chakra to me is the heart, you know. So, and then I pulled out, you are beckoned the calling, and Sarah the White Spring, fill your sacred chalice. Yeah, again, the look Holy Grail union, but also I feel it's like the masculines are being called to their calling, the union. Wow. Listen to elder wisdom, and that, look, again, like, that's what I've been saying. again, it's just so nuts how, again, it's just so nuts, isn't it? But, you know, that's when my mum came back from India. If you hadn't heard this story, if you're new, long and short of it was, I had found this book that I'd wrote things in like years ago, 6 years ago or something, and it was about when I was going to integrate the elephant wisdom, elephant medicine, because you know, like power animals can come, like spirit animals can come close to you for different things, and they'll work with you for months or sometimes years. And that's when you hear me say that I've integrated owl medicine. That's because I integrated that like years and years and years ago. And really, to be fair, like I just always had that gift of being able to see what other people. That's my Pluto energy, but like looking at things from a higher perspective too. Because also remember, the owl is like got you know, I'm not good at explaining things like the science part and the, you know, all of that, or whatever you would call that part of it. But it's like that the owl can see all around, can't it? With whatever it does with its eyes. So it's, and that is, it's like I see, other things that people can't see for a long time, in the world and in personal situations. But yeah, listen to elder wisdom. So like I always explain, that's nothing to do with my age. That is to do with my very old soul, because I carry the ancient energy of the oak tree that I guide people to in the journeys. So yeah, and also that's quite flute. That'd be quite nice for the top, because that always matters too. Because I wore a green top. It's the heart chakra colours again. Because I had a green top on in the last videos that I filmed. Right, I've actually not got a lot of time on the timer, guys. So it's gonna have to be. Oh, I did want to share these cards. So yeah, last night I pulled these for myself, but this is going to resonate with some of you, so I'm going to share it. I put it in the community tab. There's tricksters around you, so just look out. And actually, that's so funny because it just fits what I just said. Like spider webs and cats in some most circumstances, because I've just got so many decks where it mentions not so good things to do with the cat spirit animal and stuff. But look, that's actually got a cat and a spider. So to me, like, and this is so funny because this is a tarot, and I did have that on my Amazon wish list. So thank you very much, because it was one of our divine masculines that gifted me that and another deck, and that was that again. That was another that really made my day. And you know what? Like honestly, this is what I'm saying. Like this is nuts. Like as I'm going through it, I am teaching you, because, and I've been teaching you this all along, that when you give, when you've got something to give, it comes back to you multiplied, right? Because I like, and this week alone, before I came in to like more money, I had actually donated here and there, like, but it was because I do it from a genuine place, and it's because definitely because I do this, and I'm like, you know, like I've done that a couple of times, and then like but the thing is, what I always say is like, don't donate with the intention that like, oh, I'm doing this so I get loads of money back. It probably won't work. You've got to just do it because you're like, wow, that really helped me, and I've come in a bit extra money, so I'm going to give in. But actually, I've been doing that for years. Even when like sometimes I've had a tenner in my bank, sometimes I've actually given a fiver or the whole tenner as a donation, because it's tithing. You know what I mean? When you get it, but it's karma. What we say is, it's like I was explaining this to someone yesterday in a session. It wasn't for her directly. It was came up in her session about, well, it's about people feeding off you, right? That's what it is. So there's something about this, is that the whole thing with me putting out those journeys, because this is right. This video and the video I just done are linked. My North Node in Gemini in 8th house, right, is for clearing really heavy, dark stuff from people, as you hear me say all the time. Or if you're new, you'll hear me say that all the time. You'll get sick of hearing me say it. I get sick of hearing myself say it, but it's because people are new. People need to know what it is to do. But rather than me tell you, you can see people. I'll show you, or you'll see other people say it. But it's a combination. But basically, and like I always say, you shouldn't judge me for. I mean, I don't care. You can judge me if you want, but like, you shouldn't judge me or anyone else for me having to do that. It's because I've got such hidden energy. If I didn't talk about the skills that I was good at, well, you know what I mean? It would only be when people said it that people would see. And like I said, although it's happening a lot just now, and it happened enough before, but it seems to be happening more. And I feel it's just because, see, it's got something to do with that card about reveal what's hidden. It's because I'm more open to growing and the channel growing, and and not as overwhelmed with things. It's all happening when it's meant to. My subs, my numbers on any platform I've ever been on have always spoke to me. I don't care about the rest and what I don't like falling in with the crowd. But yeah, just be careful in general. This for me, because these two my power animals were in the middle. Look, the elephant, bearer of justice, and remember, I am Lady Portia energy. Again, I know there's about a million different guys, but I do just work with all these different guys. Yeah, that's my elder wisdom, but that is bringing in the justice, and that's Isle medicine, keeping in the light. And again, I wasn't really conscious too much of that when I was saying that, because again, they're just speaking through me. But yeah, because that was in the middle, if you look at the post, and these were either side, this is the kind of energies that I have to deal with on a daily basis. You know what I mean? Online, sometimes in person, so jealousy. But right, so what have we got? That's enough of that bullshit, because I'm going to have to probably end this quite abruptly because the time's running out. What have we got for the Divine Feminine? Destiny. I am your destiny, like in Back to the Future. We all have a destiny and paths to follow. It's time to move forward. I cannot, with how scarily, spookily that is with everything I've been saying. Look how much I've spoke about an North Node in this. I was like, what's the deal with this? And also it's 41 and I'm about to be 41 on Good Friday. Also, look how much I've spoke about Jesus and Mary Magdalene. And also the whole thing that I say all the time, 18-4, means union, because it's the 4 of Wands. So I would say, yeah, around my birthday, there is going to be a lot of deaths and unions. I'll not hold out for my... No, I teach people not to. I never give up hope, and I always have faith. But again, I feel you don't also want to set yourself up for a fall. Honesty, yeah, I'm just being honest. Be honest with yourself about your current situation. So the masculines are being honest with themselves about their current situation and healing. Yeah, so because some masculines are healing, it's time to open up to healing or to provide healing from others. Wow, this is so nuts, because I was saying something about, right, so this is definitely connected with the Jesus and Mary Magdalene thing. It's time to open up to healing. So some of you masculine, male and females, are needing to heal your own trauma, right? And you'll know if it's quite a substantial amount of it that you need to do. And we're all at different bits. And again, humbled and honoured if you choose to do that with me, or if you're already doing it with me, or you've done it in the past. Even if you've done it in the past, like maybe there's other stuff coming up that you need to heal. Only you'll know, be honest with yourself, like I said. But some of you, I feel you're being called to heal others. So, and remember, it has come up quite a few times in sessions about, just people that are wanting to learn to do things like that. So like I said, I don't draw symbols and all that with Reiki. I never have, right? It's just, it didn't resonate, and to be honest, I wouldn't fucking remember. I just activate people. But and obviously I teach the shamanic wisdom in every single thing that I do. So, but yeah, I'm probably going to do one of my courses quite soon. Like I feel that boundaries one that I've been talking about for years needs to get done, because we need it in these times. But so I don't know, yeah. But like I said, if you're interested in teaching from me on a deeper level, it would be the coaching package. But like I always say, I only do the coaching package with people after we've done some type of therapy, or unless, you've had some sort of, good therapy yourself prior. I wouldn't do that to me, because otherwise it's just, I just find people don't really believe in themselves enough to go for it. So, right. But when you've done enough soul retrieval, which a lot of you have done with me, then you are. So it really depends. Maybe it depends, but yeah, because it's the path that I've followed, you see. And look how, and that's what they're saying. Look how easily it just flows in, right? And that, yes, I am a natural medium, so I do have to be transparent about that. But I am a good teacher. I've always been a good teacher at teaching people how to navigate their gifts and recognise their clairs and stuff, right? So, not going to be mad as to my own horn, right? Masculine, another one. Yeah, there's confirmation left, right, and centre, because that can resonate for me too. They're saying I do need to teach that pretty soon. Of course, assertiveness, have the confidence to say what you believe, and that is so totally linked to that healing video too. So if any of you are experiencing some type of illness right now,
or stress or whatever, try and tune in yourself to what that could be about with some kind of suppressed or repressed emotion. And if you can't work out yourself, well, join a lot of people in that club, book a session myself and I'll pull it out. And it's about whether you can be honest with yourself and be like, shit, yeah, I know what that is. People tend to just tell me things that they didn't think in a month of Sundays they were going to tell me. Now that's weird, a month of Sundays. There might be something significant about Sunday. I don't usually say that. Relationship. Spend more quality time together if you're single. A new relationship could be on the horizon. Oh, interesting. So, yeah, union energy. Right, can we fit this in? So tell us what is about to happen here. Is the union card going to come out? And when I say what is about to happen, we all know this by now. This can manifest whenever, different timelines. But if it all resonated really strongly, there's a good chance you've either lived out this, lucky you. I keep saying lucky too. I think somebody needs to watch the Lucky one with Zac Efron, because that keeps, that's what I'm thinking of when I'm saying it. That's got quite a mystical vibe of being guided to someone and not knowing, and like an angel or a loved one in spirit guided. There's also a narcissistic ex in that. Yeah. Telepathic bond here. Close soul connections are harmoniously synchronized, creating moments of telepathy. Yeah, because that's weird that I kept saying. And look what they just guided me down to. I'm in love with you and all these little things. I don't usually sing that when I pick up that card. Oh, yeah. So there's a song called, I think it's Hope. Is it Hope NF or something? Oh, no, I posted it. I posted it in the community tab, so I'll put the post there. But yeah, I don't know that song that well, but I'd like heard it somewhere or saw it somewhere, and so I added it my like songs, and then it just really stood out when I went on the alarm. So and it's quite rough actually when you look at the lyrics. It fits, unfortunately, with like Innerchild stuff, I would say, but that won't be specific to everyone because it feels like it's really hard hitting lyrics. A divine soul counterpart, a relationship is blessed with amazing moments of synchronicity. Pay attention to the signs. The bee, look, the bee. Bees are abundance. Embrace your loving connection. Rejoice. And intense. The intensity of a true soul connection includes great highs and great lows. And remember, I'm channeling this with all my Plutonian Scorpio energy, because this energy is in my 8th house. And oh, I just slept on the floor. Window. A new adventure in love is coming. Get ready. I'd love to use this for a thumbnail, but it doesn't show up very well. That one actually just perfectly nails what I've channeled, eh? Baggage. Emotional baggage can weigh down relationships. Unpack it, yeah. Look, that's totally obvious. That's what I was saying about the trauma. So don't leave yourself stuck. Because the thing is, right, I'm passionate about this because I clear the trauma at the womb space, or for guys, the sacral chakra, because you ain't got a womb. This world claims a lot of crazy things. But when you clear that deep, dark pain at the trauma, because some of you it is deep, dark pain, miracles flood in. Your money opens up, your happiness, your joy, you just enjoy your everyday experience. Your body holds on to trauma. Don't hold on to it. I'm going to leave it there.